Okay, so I have shared my whiteboard. You would be able to see that in a bit. Okay, Saneem, can you see the whiteboard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's get started. Now we'll talk about 6 theorems initially, and then we'll talk about some past paper questions, right? Like not past paper questions related to this topic, but a random past paper. We'll solve it from the beginning, and let's see how many questions we can cover. Okay, so that is the pattern. Before talking about the 6 theorems, it's extremely important to understand what exactly a circle is and its properties, right? So we'll talk about the properties later. What is this? This is a circle, and this thing is the radius of the circle, right? So radius is a fixed length from the center of the circle to any point of the circumference. So I will make another radius using this black line. This is also the radius. This is also the radius. I'll make some more. This is also the radius, right? So all these are radius. Okay, so we know what is radius, okay? This is radius. And if I talk about diameter, so diameter is basically a line of this type that is passing through the center and it's connecting two ends of the sides of the circle, right? This point and this point, they are connected by the light green line, and this is the center. So I'll start labeling it. This green line, this green boundary of the circle is called circumference. The light green line that is passing through the center is called the diameter. And this is the radius, right? Okay, so these are some basics. You guys must be knowing them already, right? Now let's talk about some more things. The light green line is diameter. We know that. Okay. Okay. The next thing is tangent. Okay. Tangent is a line that is intersecting the circle at one point only. I'll make the tangent and you'll get the idea. For example, if I am interested in making tangent at this point, so it is going to be a line of this type that is touching or intersecting the circle at that point only. Let's say I am interested in making the tangent at this point. So again, I'm going to make a line that is basically touching the circle at one point only, right? So both these yellow lines are tangent lines, okay? Right. So this is tangent and I can make it anywhere, okay? Just like the radius, just like the diameter could be this as well, right? I already showed you all the possibilities for radius. If I make another line for the tangent, it could be, let me make the point first. So let's say I'm interested in making the tangent on this point of the circle. So I'll make a line that is touching the circle at this specific point only. So it is a bit difficult for me to draw it like this, but I'll try, I'll keep drawing. Yeah, but it would be something of this type. Not exactly this type. Let me just use simple pen and then draw it. Okay, so it would be a line. Something of this type, right? It is touching the circle at one point only, right? So this is the tangent line. Okay. So any doubts about these three things, about the radius, diameter, and the tangent line? Yes, Saneem and Rania, please confirm if you have understood this. And please feel free to ask me if you did not, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, and Saneem, what about you?
It's clear.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, now these were some basics. I'll just add one more thing and then I'll talk about the 6 theorems that are extremely important. And you know, these questions from this chapter are considered to be a bit difficult by some students, but inshallah, let's do it together and then you will start finding them easy. Okay, this is the chord. Chord is basically a line that is connecting 2 points of the circumference. This is also a chord. Okay. Then this black line is also a chord, right? The yellow line, the diameter is also the chord, but it is the biggest chord, right? So that is the idea. So I'm pretty sure that these are some very basic concepts. I won't waste that much time. I just wanted to spend 5 minutes to talk about these basics. And now I'll talk about the 6 properties. Okay. So we'll keep, let's talk about them like one by one. So I'll talk about 2 at a time. Okay, so this is my circle. Okay, right. Um, this is the radius. Let's say that this was the center of the circle, okay? And this is the radius, right? The first property is, let me make the tangent line. Okay, so it says, let me remake the radius. Okay, now the property is, this is the radius and this is the tangent, okay? So it says angle between a tangent and a radius is 90 degrees. That is, this angle is right angle. Now they have used angle between a tangent and a radius. For example, I'll make a tangent at this point. Let's say this is another tangent. I can make a radius according to this as well. So this would be the radius, right? Radius is any line that is connecting the center to a point on the circumference, right? Now this is the radius and this is the tangent. So what do we know? Again, this angle is going to be right angle, right? So this is property number 1. Any doubts, Saneem and Rania, please feel free to tell me if you did not understand this.
No, ma'am.
All right, okay. Let's talk about the second property. Again, I'll make a circle. So this is the circle. Let's say this is the diameter. And this is the center. So okay. So this is basically this point and this point, right? Okay. So this is the diameter line. Okay. This pink point and this pink point, we have two lines that, or you can say we have two chords that are starting from these two end points of the diameter and are going to another point on the circumference, right? So this angle would be 90 degrees. So if I make another one for this, it is going to be, let's say this is the chord 1 and this is the second chord. This angle is also going to be 90 degrees, right? So this is the idea. If this is the circumference and I am using two chords to make a triangle and this point is on the circumference, this angle is going to be 90 degrees. And this is one of the most important properties, right? Okay. So is this okay with you, Rania and Serene? Please tell me if you have understood this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the third one now. So I'll rub this and I'll talk about it over here. Property number 3. So again, I'm going to make a circle and yeah. So let me make the diagram first and then I'll explain the idea about it. Or maybe let me just keep 2. Otherwise, you might get confused. Once I'll explain this, then I'll make the third one. Okay. The idea is just focus on this part. Now, this is an arc, right? Okay. When I say arc, it's just some curved part of the circle. That is it. Okay. Just see this thing that this is the maroon part is a curved part. And I have 2 lines that are basically making this curved path, right? So if this angle is x degrees, if I have some other 2 lines that are making the same arc, like these 2 pink lines, again the angle is going to be x degrees, okay? For example, if I make a third pair of lines using some other color, okay, so I've used some different color. So let's say I am making the same arc using another pair of lines. This angle is also going to be x degrees, right? So you need to follow this arc. If any 2 pairs of lines or if any 3 pairs of lines are making the same arc, the angle at the circumference is going to be same, right? Okay. Let's talk about the fourth one. Sorry about this. Okay. The fourth one is related to the second one. This was the second one, but I will make it again. Okay. It is property number 4. So this is the circle. And this is the center. Again, I am going to talk about a specific arc. Again, when I say arc, I mean some curved part of the circle. So this time around, this is the curved path I'm talking about. Okay. Now this is angle at the center. And I am going to make another pair of lines that is making the same arc, but it is, this time it's not at the center, it's at the circumference. The property is that if this is 2x, this would be x. So I'll write it down. It says angle at center is twice the angle at circumference, right? Okay. So again, what is the idea? This is the arc that is being made by two different pairs of lines, right? So if I talk about the black pair, it is making the angle at center. And if I talk about the brown pair, it is making the angle at circumference. So the idea is that if it is 2x, this one is going to be x. For example, let's say I use another pair of lines. This is also going to be x degrees. Right, Saneem and Rania, did you understand this? Please answer me.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So we are done with the four properties. Let's talk about two more and then that is it. We'll talk about the past paper. Okay. So, and then we'll talk about more properties tomorrow. Okay. I did not want to talk about all the properties together. Property number 5. So let me make the circle again. So this is a circle. Inside this circle, I will make a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral is any four-sided shape. Okay, it could be a square, it could be a rectangle, it could be any four-sided random image, right? And we have a name for this random quadrilateral that is inside the circle and its corners are touching the circle. It is called a cyclic quadrilateral, right? Okay, but I won't, waste your memory for such things. The idea is that this angle and the angle opposite to this, right? So the sum is going to be 180. So let's say this is A, B, C, D. And let me just make the other one as well. And this yellow angle and this yellow angle, okay? They're opposite to each other, so their sum is 180. So I'll write it down. Angles in a cyclic quadrilateral that are opposite to each other add up to give 180 degrees. Okay, so do not focus on this thing. I just write such things down for the sake of completeness. Just follow the concept, right? So this is the cyclic quadrilateral, any four-sided figure whose corners are touching the circumference of the circle from inside. Okay, that is the idea about a cyclic quadrilateral. And it says the angles in a cyclic quadrilateral that are opposite to each other. For example, both the yellow angles or both the maroon angles. Okay, if I add both the yellow angles, the answer is going to be 180 degrees. If I add both the maroon angles, the answer should be 180 degrees, right? So another way of writing this could be that angle at A plus C is going to give me 180 degrees, and angle at D plus B would give me 180 degrees, right? Okay, this was the fifth property, and let's talk about the last one and then I'll talk about the past paper. Okay, so this is property number 6. All right, so this is a circle. This is a chord, another chord, and a third chord. We have 3 chords such that they are making a triangle, and this is not this. This is a tangent. Okay, let's say this angle is, this is A, this angle is B, and this angle is C. The idea is that let me make it with different colors. This is green and this is black, but we are not really interested in this one. So okay, I'll disrupt this. For now, let's talk about A and B only, right? Okay, so this is also going to be A, and this is also going to be B, right? Okay, now this is the idea. Now I made 3 chords in the circle such that all the corners are touching the circumference of the circle, right? This angle is A. Then if I make a line on this point, this angle would also be A, right? For example, let's say now I can make the third angle, that is C. Let's say I make the tangent line at this point. So that would mean that this is also going to be A, and this is going to be C, right? So this is the idea. We know that sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, right? We discussed this yesterday as well, right? And we know that sum of angles on a straight line is also 180 degrees. So this is a great proof of this, that the black angle plus green angle plus pink angle, they would certainly add up to give you 180 degrees, right? So this is also telling you that this is correct. Anything that you have not understood in this one?
No,
Okay, and all right. Okay, perfect. Okay. So these are some 6 properties. We will practice as many questions as we could. For now, I'll just stop sharing the screen. I'll take out the past paper. There is a question related to circles in that as well. And then we'll talk about that as well, right? But for now, we'll do all the questions. So I'll just stop sharing this. And I am going to share the questions. Okay, so I have shared my screen. Are you able to see it? You would be, I
yes.
think. Okay, okay. All right. So this is the past paper. It is P1. Let's do the first question. Okay. Now, obviously, you would not be using your calculators. If you start using your calculators for these questions, things would become very, very easy for you. So I would want both of you to take out, a white A4 or maybe a paper, a rough register, and just try these questions with me, right? Rather than just looking at the screen, just do these with me and let's see if we are able to do it or not, okay? So before doing every question, I might give you some time. Let's say I can give you 10 seconds. You can try it on your own and then I'll start solving it, okay? So just try the first one and then I'll do it after 10 seconds, okay? Just try it on your own. Okay, so let's do it now. So we have minus by 4, that is 0.8. Now 1.5 minus 0.8, either you can like do it this way, or you can just, think about it on your own, that when you minus 8 and 15, what do you get? So we get 7, right? So 0.7 is the answer. I might not ask again and again if you guys are able to understand this or not, because that wastes time. So just tell me if you are not able to understand any question. I'll stop there and explain that again, okay? Let's talk about the next one. So it says 4.2 divided by this. Now, apparently, if we start thinking about it this way, it looks, it looks challenging, honestly speaking. But we don't need to think about it directly. I'll just write 10 because it was 4.2. Then division sign, and 0.07 can be written basis. So I'll write it down with 100, okay? Divided by 10. Multi-reciprocal, I've changed the division sign to multiplication, and I've taken the times, 0 and 0 would be cancelled. 6 into 10 is 60. Okay. Right. Let's talk about the second question. They are just one mark. They are being subtracted. Since it is subtraction, I need to have the denominator same. So I'll take the LCM, and I don't need to do all the working. I know that when I have two different numbers and they are not the factors of each other and they do not have any common factor, both of them are prime numbers. So their LCM is going to be 7. Now, in order to make it 35, I'll multiply it with 5. 25 minus 5 into 14. And what is the answer? 25 minus 14 gives you 11. The answer, okay? Right. So these are easy. Let's talk fractions, and they are being divided. First, let's just convert these mixed fractions to fractions, improper fractions, and then let's just solve it, okay? So 1 divided by 5. Division sign would come as it is, and then 7 by 3. Now I'll remove this fraction, so I'll add multiple. Is giving me 18 divided by 35, and I cannot, I'll write it down directly as 18 divided by 35. Okay. So it says, okay, you can think about it. Meanwhile, I'll just drop this. Okay. Now, what exactly is the question? The question is, in a town, 11,000 people out of the total population of 50,000 are aged under 18. What percentage of the population is aged under 13? So 11,000 of 50,000 multiplied. These three zeros cancelled by this 0, 2 times 10. To this careful one can see. Right. So are you guys able to understand this?
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. Let's talk about the second part. So it says a company employing 1,200 workers increased the number of workers by 15%. How many workers does it employ now? So it was employing 1,200 workers, and now it has increased by 15%. So either you can find 15% of 1,200 and then add it to 12. You can directly find 100 plus 15%. That is 1,200. So that would give 100 multiplied. Right, Sunny? 0 and 0 would be cancelled. 5, 12 would come here. Multiplication is 2 and then 1, 3. 2 into 1 is 2. The answer is 0, 8, 2, 1, 80, right? This would be the answer. Okay, right. That was easy. Let's talk about some more questions. Okay, let's talk about the fourth question. It says 9 to the power 1 plus 9 to the power 0. We know 1. Always remember. 2 to the power 0 is 1. 10 to the power 0 is 1. 100,000 to the power 0 is 1 again, right? So that would give you 10. So the answer is 10. Okay. 9 whole power 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is basically under root. So 1 power first the bracket. So it is basically the power of both the new going to be 1. So 1, 9, and that would become 1 divided by 3. Okay. All right. Now, I want Saneem and Rania, both of you, to try this question. And if you're not able to do it, I'll do it for you. Okay, that is not an issue. Wrong answer is not an issue. I just want you guys to try it on your own. So it says, by writing each, estimate the value of this. So first you need to write every number to one significant figure. One significant figure means that the number should have one significant figure only. And then, then do the square and then divide it. And then you can just take your time and tell me the answers. Yes, sir, Neem and Rania.
I got 0.5.
Okay, and what about you, Rania? Any luck with the question? Okay. All right. That's not an issue. Let's do it together. Okay. So it says by writing each number correct to one significant figure. 48 figure, I would only write down the first figure. Since the next figure after 50, I will talk about this number only and this 2 would remain 2, 0. 0, this 3 would become 3 multiplied by 0 0.2 into 0 0.2 is 0.4. So I can write by 4 over 100 times. It is 1 by, either you can write 0.5 or you can write 1 by 2. All right. So it says equals 2. So we need to select. How do we do it? We need to find the value of x. How do we find the value of x? We find the value of x by making x the subject. So this would become 3 equals 1, 2 into x 2. I'll take this 2 equals 2x and x is going to be 2.5. Okay, this was simple. All right, and what is the given p equals 2t minus r, express t in terms of p and r. Okay, so this is the in terms of p and r, I need to make t the subject of the equation. In order to make subject, I need to p plus r equals 2. Here it would be divided on the other side equals t. So the answer is going to be they have divided by 2. This is going to be the answer. Okay, so we have not discussed the contents of the 7th question. Okay, we have not talked about this as well, but still it's very easy, so we can do it, right? It's just reading the table. So it says the table shows the record minimum monthly temperatures in Vostok and London. Okay, so we have two cities. The difference between month. So we'll talk about this column. So what is the difference? Always remember, even if the difference is turning out to be positive or negative, 74 and it is 7. What is the difference? How do we find difference? Can anyone tell me?
Subtract.
Very good. Okay. So just subtract these two and tell me the value, whatever you are getting.
-81.
Exactly. That is what I was telling you, that we will not talk about minus 81. Okay. We will just say 81. Look, if we say minus 81, right? So then we are getting the temperature of Vostok. But the thing is that here they did not talk about that you need to subtract this from this. No, they just 81 degrees. You will not add the negative sign here. Okay. Yes, Saneem, did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. And for the second part, difference between the temperatures in Vostok in February, and this is June. Temperature is 71, temperature is 47. So what exactly it is going to be? The difference of these two temperatures, that is it. Okay, and that is 24. So it is going to be 24 degrees. All right. Rania, are you clear with this? Okay, very good. Let's talk about okay, we'll talk about this. We have done this already, but I would like to talk about this question in which we had circles, just so we are able to do that as well. This one. Okay. Let's talk about this and then we can talk about the remaining questions tomorrow, but I want to talk about it right now. Okay. All right. So I'll read the question and then we'll see. The diagram shows a circle with center O passing through A, B, C, D. BOD is a straight line and BAC is 30 degrees. The line BQ is a tangent to the circle at B. You need to find BAC. Okay, so you need to find this angle. Now just stop for a moment and think about the concepts, right? We have discussed a few properties. I will not talk about the solution. I would want you to think about it. If you're not able to, I will certainly help you. And I don't expect that you guys would be able to do it. I just want you to think about it, right? I'll just talk about a few important things and then I'll leave it to you. We know that this line that is passing through the center, and it is a line that is basically touching both ends of the circumference. This certainly is the diameter. I do not need to, tell you that much. It is the diameter, right? So we had a property about this as well. Okay. And then this is the tangent, something about this as well. And then we do not have any radius here, but we can make up our own radius and think about that as well. Okay, I won't give you more hints. I'll give you 2 minutes. Just think about DSC and tell me the answers. And if you're not able to, obviously I'll help you. Okay, but only 2 minutes. Yes, Saneem and Rania, any idea?
CBQ will be 38 and OB is 90. So we will subtract 90 from 38 and we will get 52, which will be DAB.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Your answer is correct. Can you tell me the logic again? That what exactly have you used?
C angle CBQ will be 38
Hmm.
is 38.
And how do you know that?
And from 38, O to B is 90 because like diameter and tangent.
Yeah. 90. Okay. No, but how is CBQ 38?
Because C.
Okay, I am not able to hear you, but I'll tell you again. Okay, yes, your answer is correct, but let's see. Okay, but very good. Okay, basically the thing is that we need to find this angle. Okay, abhi we are not sure about this angle. Okay, the only thing which we know is okay, if this angle is 38 and it is making this arc, right? This angle is 38 and it is being made by AB and AC. You have two more, you have another pair of line that is DB and DC that is making the same arc. So this is all these, right? Okay, that is the idea. Acha. Now, I told you that if we talk about the diameter, okay, if we have two lines, or let's say we have two chords that are 30 and they are joining at the circumference, this angle is going to be 90 degrees. Okay, this angle is going to be 90 degrees. So if this is 38 degrees minus 38 degrees, and that is 50, your logic would also be correct, but I was not able to understand that. Okay, this is 52 degrees. What is DBC? DBC is this 52 degrees, and this 52 degrees is basically the angle between the lines AD and this arc. So what do you think about this angle? This angle and the lines, so it is going to be 52 degrees as well, right? So this, and the last part is CBQ. Since this angle would be 90 degrees because the angle between the radius and the tangent is 90 degrees. If this is, could be the radius as well, the angle would be 90 degrees. If this is 52 degrees, this angle would be 9 degrees, right? So this is the idea. I'll write it again, and then that is it for today. So this was the question originally, and see, okay. So I have used the second property that said that if we have diameter, that is this point and this point, if we have two chords coming out from the end points, that is AB, and this angle is going to be 90 degrees or right angle, right? So if this is 38, I get degrees. The next part was to find this angle. Now I know that if this angle is 52, this arc and this angle are going to be same, okay? That is how I got this one. And since the angle between the tangent and the radius or the diameter is 90 degrees, if this is would be 38 degrees, right? So anything that you have not understood, Rania and Saneem, please tell me honestly. Okay, and what about you,
Yes,
Saneem?
yeah.
Yes, it's clear?
Yes.
Okay, very good, excellent. Then I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Okay, I'll stop the recording. And yeah, that is it. So take care. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, Rania.